Howdy, cats, kittens, children of all ages. It's your old friend Steve, the original guitar nut. Welcome to Guitar Nuts Anonymous. So I've heard it said that third time's the charm, and I hope that's true, because this is the third time I'm trying to record this video. First time I had equipment issues. The second time I had an important phone call right in the middle of the video. And this time, hopefully nothing. If there's a phone call, we're going to ignore it. My good friend, Steve McWilliams, recently challenged me to explain my pedal board, what I'm doing with my rig, after I had shared a photo of the pedal board on Facebook when it was a contest asking people to show their pedal boards, and I did, and he said something to the effect of, I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I figured I'll explain it to you, show you, and then you can see what you're looking at. And but you got to hear it a little bit. Yeah, that's my tone. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and move my rig, camera rig, give you an overhead view of the pedal board, and all you're going to see of me for a while is my Sketcher-clad feet, and I'm going to explain to you just exactly what is going on back here, and then I'll come back and be able to look you in the eye, as it were, again. So stay tuned, and so as you can see, this is my pedal board. It's not nearly so complicated as it might look. It's just a bit unconventional compared to what you would normally see. So let me walk you through. You already understand my rig of doom, my custom Hustler 410 amp, and my Roland JC40 amplifier, which I run together. They have separate effects going to each. We start off out of the guitar going into the Digitech whammy pedal. We then hit this Lely little dual pedal, which allows us to switch between two different lines, A and B, as you can see, and combine them, which is what I do, of course. The line going first to the Hustler comes out of the little dual and into the Electro-Harmonix tri-parallel mixer. What this does is takes the output of three different pedals or pedal chains, blends them together in parallel so they're not stacked on top of one another, and then sends a combined output to wherever you're going. Now I found that I couldn't get my ideal fuzz tone from one box, but I did find that I had three fuzzes that I really enjoyed for different parts of the sound spectrum, you know, different frequencies and whatnot. They complemented each other, but stacking them together sounded god awful, more noise than sound. I thought if only there was a way to blend them, and sure enough, that's where this comes in, the tri-parallel mixer. So I have here, the first channel is hitting the Keeley Suns fuzz, which is essentially, it's sort of a fuzz, well, it's kind of a big muff, really. Channel 2 is hitting the Rowan Frenzy fuzz, which I did a review of before. I actually wound up buying 2 of them. This one was amazing. The other sounded god-awful. No idea why. And then finally, the third channel is hitting this Proco Rat 2, which I refer to as a fuzz because that's the way I use it. And you can turn off all of the sounds and just have your clean signal. But I'd leave the clean completely off. And I just use, well, let's see. First, let's give you the Suns. Here's the sound of the Suns by itself. Then the sound of the Rowan Frenzy by itself. As you can hear, it's kind of spitty, spluttery, gated. And then finally, the old Proco Rat, which we all know and love. Give me kind of my bread and butter. Let me start stacking it. While it's stacking, running them together in parallel. There's the bulk of my tone. Now, we come out of the tri-parallel mixer into my new Catlin Bred CBH gated reverb. If you're not familiar with gated reverb, it's what was all over primarily drums and, well, probably everything in the 80s. It basically gives you the big, huge sound of a giant reverb, but it then cuts off immediately after you stop playing. So you kind of get an almost explosive sound. I don't have a lot of it going because it would overwhelm, but you'll hear the difference here. It adds that little extra something that I really enjoy. And I can put in more of it if I choose to, but this is how I like it. Now, we come out of the Catlin Bred into this Kaleen 10-band EQ, which I use really just as a lead boost. Out of that to our trusty Boss chromatic tuner. Have at the end of the chain so it mutes. I am getting, as I'm sure you've noticed, a good bit of line noise here on the Hustler. Sounds like that. Fortunately, when I'm playing it, I drown it out. But I do need to figure out what's causing it. I think it's the proximity of the pedals to the power supply that's underneath. I might need to find some kind of a way to shield it. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just learn to live with it. I mean, it's not like doom musicians tend to use noise gates or worry about any of that sort of thing anyway. But of course, you know, when am I ever conventional? So then we have channel B. Well, actually, channel A, which is the Roland JC40. Now, let's get tuned, eh? All right, my D was out like crazy. What we have there is the second line coming out of Little Laley that runs over here to the Electro Harmonix B9 pedal. which allows me to have B3 organ sounds or whatever organ sounds I want, which I like to blend in with my regular sound, so I can, for at least a brief moment, pretend that I'm Ritchie Blackmore and Jon Lord simultaneously. Now, I don't run this clean. I have a Keeley Super Bass over here, which is supposed to basically give you the sound of a vintage Marshall Super Bass amp, which was a favorite of Jimi Hendrix among others. Well, it sounds like this. You'll also notice I do have the chorus on the Jazz 40, JC40. In isolation, it sounds like a lot, but when mixed together, it works. And then out of there, I'm hitting the M5 Stompbox Modeler by Line 6, which I primarily use for delay. Although I've got everything under the sun that I could want in this thing. Flanges, phases, everything really. Lots of interesting filter sounds. And you can hear I was experimenting with a little flange there. Actually, quite a large flange. So, here is the sound of the two amps combined. That's what you heard earlier. Yeah, so there it is. That is the key to my sound. And it's not nearly so complicated as it appears. I forgot to mention, right now the whammy pedal is being used almost exclusively as an octave down pedal, which is really a waste of a lot of real estate for just that one function, because the whammy can do so much more, and I could fit any number of octave down pedals in a third of that space. But I do intend to use it for some harmony effects eventually. So anyway, there we are. And yeah, not so complicated, but it gives me the sound that I want. Oh, and by the way, if anybody out there eagle-eared wants to identify that organ piece I was just playing a moment ago, do so, and I'll give you a shout out on the channel. So, let me let you go for now, and I will be back. Well, it'll seem instantaneously to you. So, here we go. And just like that, I'm back in the room. So, got to see the rig, hear the rig, experience the rig. Hopefully that answers your questions there, Steve, and anyone else who's curious. So, now my question to you is, what do you want more of in the future? What do you want to see? What can I cover to make you happy? Because, you know, I'm here for you. Do you want to know more about Temu guitars? Primarily those of the Chibson variety, as they are called. Do you want to know what the hell that amp is doing here and why am I not using it? Do you want to ask questions about this rig and what I've got in mind or whatever? Do you want to see more pedal demos? I have a lot of freaking pedals. I should post a picture. I might just post a picture of my pedal stack. Maybe I shouldn't. Anyhow, I need to know what you want, and to let me know, just, you know, go down below there in the comments. Tell me what you'd like to see more of, what else I can present for you. While you're down there, if you want, you can let me know where you're viewing from. I always find it fascinating to see where in the world all you viewers are. And yeah, you can like and subscribe, of course. That costs you nothing. If you do all that, make sure to ring the bell or you're never going to get notified. It's kind of like having to download an app to get the coupon deals at your local grocery store when you already have their membership card. Seems like one extra unnecessary step. Shouldn't you just get the deals? Shouldn't you just get notified because you subscribe? I don't know. I don't make the rules. I seldom even live by them. But anyway, till you see me next, be good to yourself and others. Don't take any wooden nickels unless you collect them. Stay cool, stay frosty. Stay in the game. Above all else, pick up your guitar and play, hopefully just like yesterday. Till I see you next, this is Steve, and I am out.